Aloha, beloved soul, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me today, for tuning in. I have a very exciting treat to share this wonderful code from the forest here. Every once in a while, we get so lucky so as to have some kind of a message, an encounter with an animal totem friend. And we just appreciate these spirit messengers so very much. And it brings me so much pleasure to share with you the frog, the way of the frog, and frog medicine. So the last few weeks, as I hike pretty much on a daily basis through the forest, I've been starting to notice the frogs singing, and it's exciting. The weather is getting warmer here, and they're coming out. And I would start to hear their chorus, their orchestras, and just really enjoying that in the background as I'm walking around and processing and clearing and being present with all that is in these magnificently massive times of shift. And it took me over a week to actually sit down and go to my library and pull one of my favorite animal totem resources. This man is so beautifully connected and so thorough, and he really encourages us to explore and study cultures all over the planet. He includes everybody in his work, and that is the lovely Mr. Ted Andrews, who has transitioned. I find his books to be so beautiful and full of ritual as well, if you want to connect more to the animal kingdom as these incredible divine messengers here for us on planet Earth. So I kept meaning to reference the book, would seemingly forget all week, and would just enjoy their song every day when I'm out on the trail. And so I actually have an activation here that we're going to share where you can listen to the frog, listen to some wonderful rain. Some of this is audio that I actually captured out in the field doing grid work and hiking and connecting here locally in the Pacific Northwest where I currently live. I'm going to share an actual description about frog medicine that Ted Andrews wrote in his book. This is one of my favorite books of all time, Animal Speak. So I'm actually going to share the codes of the frog, the way of the frog with you to assist, and then just kind of encourage you to reflect upon how frog has hopped into your day today, into your experience, and any messages for you that are important at this time, or wonderful questions prompted by this experience to assist your development at this time. The frog medicine is all about a multidimensional life, right? It's an amphibious creature, and it is a wonderful symbol for us of transformation and metamorphosis on the consciousness journey, the spiritual awakening journey, the ascension process. And its beautiful message is transformation through water and sound. So let us start to come into presence here. And if you can, because we're going to get into kind of an activational space in a little while, if you want to close your eyes if you can and listen to the frogs, we'll start to bring in some of the frogs now. You can hear a lovely kind of chorus or symphony. They've got an amazing orchestra that they'll do when there's a bunch of them going at it. You'll hear a couple that are isolated out, and just thinking about frogs and how beautiful and vibrant and bright they are and how sweet they are, their different songs. And also kind of witnessing some of the life cycle, right? As they start out in these little eggs. If you've ever seen frogs' eggs, they're pretty fascinating. When I was a little girl and our jacuzzi in Hawaii was outside, our jacuzzi tub in the deck. And this only happened 1 year, and I thought, oh, this is so bizarre. I noticed that there were frogs in the water in the jacuzzi, and they actually laid a bunch of eggs. And what their eggs looked like were just like ropes of gel, almost like a gummy. Just ropes of that, like plasma material with a little egg on top of one another. So it was like ropes of these flecks of this gel, and these little black dots in the gel. It was fascinating. So imagining that process and seeing them then transform into a tadpole or a pollywog and seeing their tails. And this was the reason, and then we're going to read the description. The reason why I didn't read the book first to kind of ask what was the message. My universe always encourages me, spend time with the messenger first before doing the research now, before looking it up. Really sit with it and see what impressions you receive. What is it saying directly to you? And it's kind of a fun psychic development exercise as well. Getting your sovereign information, like what impressions do you receive? And after hearing the frogs on and off for over a week hiking, finally, yesterday, as I was going through some enormous processes of another round of letting go right? We have to let go of so much. So many different facets of our reality is shifting and changing, all for the better, but it's a lot to let go of. And we're letting go of pieces that we've had with us for a long time, maybe our whole life. And that's where it came through. I was making some business decisions and looking at like, oh, I really love, this business, but this one's not working out. I need to focus more on this other one. But the one I have to let go of is a huge expression and I'm attached to it. So I'm hiking and doing a walk and talk, kind of going through this process. And that's when frog medicine came in. And they said, look at the tadpole. Now, their tails have to fall off. And I was like, oh my God, yeah. And I was just imagining if that were me, I had this appendage that helped me evolve my whole life, swimmer. And then all of a sudden I had to lose it, right? I had to drop it. But look at the gains. It doesn't serve your evolution anymore. Let it go, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to quantum leap forward with those amazing hoppers, those amazing, strong legs to jump into all new reality, all the things. And I was like, oh my God, that's such a wonderful code. And I was so thankful. It was an amazing kind of metaphor for me to look at my experience and where we have emotional attachments to things and people, identities, stories, hobbies, businesses, jobs, places we live. I mean, it can go on and on. Even food, even diet. It's time for a diet change, let go of the emotional attachment to the comfort of the chocolate, whatever it is, right? There's always a way that it comes through. And the lesson is always to find the ability to detach so that you can cut off the dead weight, remove what no longer is a part of your evolution, truly, and just rock it forward. So I thought that is very helpful right now. Thank you. Because, yeah, I'm sure the frogs aren't enthused about losing a body part. I know I wouldn't be, right? So that's what I had to wait. So they're like, don't read the book yet. Wait until you get the memo for yourself that's unique to your experience right now. You can share with everybody. Then you can also look at the book. Okay. So then when I looked at the book last night, I was so excited as I was flipping through. It's his Dictionary of Reptile Totems in the book Animal Speak by Ted Andrews. If you don't have it yet, I highly recommend it. You can get it on Amazon. Get all of his books. He's wonderful, wonderful earth shaman. Amazing connector to the different kingdoms for us. I love everything he's ever put out. He really has an amazing legacy. So then I start reading, and I'm going to read it to you now shortly, but it's all about sound, the water, the primordial cosmic waters, and also sound and our sensitivity to vibration. And I thought, well, that's so interesting because I've been wanting to learn how to play the didgeridoo lately. Getting more involved with breath because that helps me really center quickly, and sound, and to feel the reverberations. I'm really noticing that's something I want to do. And then you think of us, right? Being almost 80% water. When we're working with sound currents like that, they really are a palpable experience going through. So I encourage you to think about sound healing. You can listen to wonderful frequencies on YouTube. If you have any instruments to play, a drum, a flute, a guitar, any kind of music you can get into. And if that's not it, listen to some frequencies. Meditative Mind is one of my favorite channels for mantras and beautiful, beautiful different frequencies to listen to. So that's really powerful for this new era here that we are now in, with so many more sensitivities increasing, really. We become so sensitive to energy, and not in a bad way, just in a way that you're tuning yourself and your reality and your experience, and you're like, I belong in frequencies that feel like this. I don't belong in frequencies that feel like this or make me feel like that. You start to really know, like, what's my frequency and what nourishes my frequency? And it's really beautiful because it's just another way to look at ourselves as this energetic experience of consciousness that's like a music note and a song, really, how we come together and everything. So just encouraging you to get into music and sound to really assist. That's the most powerful medicine we have for clearing and aligning and coming into our divinity. And now, without further ado, I'm going to read to you, this is a couple paragraphs, so you want to settle in here, all about the frogs from Dear Sir Ted Andrews. All right, frogs. Keynote: transformation through water and sound. Frog is our most recognizable amphibian. Though often confused with toads, there is a distinct difference. Frogs are associated with water, while toads are always found on dry land. Frogs have a smooth surface, and toads have a bumpy skin surface. Toads also have glands, called parotoids, on the side of the head, which make a thick mucus that is poisonous. Frogs do not. Frogs have an ancient mythology about them. Being amphibious with links to the water and the land, they are often associated with the magic of both elements. This also links them to the lore of fairies and elves. Many shamanic societies, especially North and South America, link the frog with rain and control of the weather. Its voice is said to call forth the rains. So we'll bring in some rain here, kind of getting into it when we talk about the waters, connecting now to the waters. Because of its connection to water, it is also linked to lunar energies, thinking about, how the moon moves the tides of waters upon the planet, and those goddesses associated with the moon. The frog was an animal attributed to the Egyptian goddess Herat, who assisted Isis in her ritual for resurrecting Osiris. Frogs have been known to be heralds of abundance and fertility, especially since in their polywog stage, they resemble the male spermatozoa. This is also due to the fact that after rains, a greater number of frogs come up to dry land and feed on insects and worms who have come out of the rain-soaked land. It is also associated with fertility, for rain makes things grow. Even as adults, frogs remain semi-aquatic. They live in damp areas. They need water and all that is associated with it symbolically or otherwise. If frog has hopped into your life, you may need to get in touch with the water element. It may reflect that there are new rains coming, or that you need to call some new rains forth. Maybe the old waters are becoming dirty and stagnant. Frog can teach you how to clean them up. Emotions are often associated with water. Individuals with frog totems are very sensitive to the emotional states of others and seem to know instinctively how to act and what to say. They know how to be sincerely sympathetic. Frog holds the knowledge of weather and how to control it. Frog medicine can bring rains for every purpose: to cleanse, to heal, to help things grow, to flood, to stir. Its energies can be used to bring light showers or downpours for most any purpose. The call of the frog is the call of the waters. The spring and summer are the times when frog's voice is strongest. These are its power times. Its call serves a variety of functions. It calls mates to it. It also serves as a release call for non-receptive females. It defines its territory, and it warns of predators. The frog is a totem of metamorphosis. It is a symbol of coming into one's own creative power. It changes from an egg to a polywog to a frog. Even after it becomes a frog, it lives close to and spends much time in the water. It always has contact with the creative force out of which it came. Usually, frog people have strong ties to their own mothers. This connection to water should also serve as a reminder to those with this totem. Are you becoming too mundane? Are you becoming mired in the mud of your day-to-day life? Are you needing to dive into some fresh creative waters? Are those around you? Are you feeling waterlogged, becoming bogged down, or drowning in emotions? Frogs are tuned keenly to sound. Over each ear canal is a round membrane, a tympanic organ, which enables them to recognize and respond to certain sounds and their locations. Science has known for a long time that water is one of the best conductors of sound. This sensitivity to sound should be developed by frog people. Their taste in music will probably not run mainstream, but they can learn to use their voice to stir the emotions and to call forth the rains or change the climatic condition of their own lives. So that is from the lovely Ted Andrews, may he rest. And we're gonna get into some lovely music here to just continue to work with the frog medicine and the questions asked, and just to give yourself a few moments here, about 5 minutes of contemplative time to receive any messages from the frog for yourself and for your process right now. Thank you so much for joining me for this beautiful activation, and I'll see you soon.